Good people, it's Sunday. It's on Sunday, and Scratcho 254. We live. Our guest today is Annerose Mandela. That's going to be our guest today. She's the reigning 2019 MVP, and she's also a fitness and wellness coach, certified fitness and wellness coach. I'm waiting for her to join on here. So as we're waiting for her to be on here, good announcement coming out. Hey, I know we canceled Hope Tour, and this is going to be just for another day. We ain't ruled it out this year, but we canceled it for this year. But we're trying to make it happen sometime when everything is well and everything is back up and everything, the city is open, and curfew obviously uh, lifted, and also sporting activities allowed back by the government. But in the meantime, we have virtual slam dunk competition. We're gonna have two categories. We're gonna have one under 18 and one over 18. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. It's gonna be a great one. It's gonna be a great one. It's simple. All you gotta do is like the Scratcho page, submit your dunk, ask your friends to like your dunk, and we'll have a panel, and we'll progress with that as we go on. I'll keep you updated on everything we are doing. We are doing with that. But with no further ado, here I got Annerose Mandela on the stream. Annerose,
Okay. Yes.
how you doing, man?
I'm fine, man. P. Mambo.
Mambo shwari, naelewa. Umebit kafi, ama.
Give me a beat. 11
Yeah,
minutes.
11 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, I
How have you
appreciate you
been?
taking your time. I'm
Uh-huh.
good.
I appreciate.
I'm good.
Thank you
I'm
for having
good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm blessed. I can't ask for more. Like with everything
me.
going on, I think you have to take time and just count your blessings and just enjoy the space you are in. There's some people who are doing bad, so struggles are everywhere. So um, I think I've learned to count my blessings, and I appreciate where I am more than ever before. So how you been? How you with COVID and everything, curfew and stoppage of sports, which is a big one.
Mhm.
How is everything going? How you being able to do your fitness and everything that you're involved with?
Well, I'd say what I can say is I also feel blessed because I believe that the fact that you're still breathing, we are here. So you can
Yes, man.
just look around and find things. You'll always find things to be grateful for. Even just being alive it's something. It's a gift. The people we
Yes, man.
started with, they're not anymore. So I stopped whining. I was whining when it all started. But right now, I'm at a point where I'm saying, I give thanks, and then I just get to do what I need to do to keep myself busy, to stay on my feet, to pay my bills. That's it for me.
Yeah, it's a grind. It's a grind, and that's what like that. I think that's one of the things that like watching your journey that stood out for me is like, for example, I know you played basketball and you did all that, but why did you think for you it was so important for you to branch to keep developing yourself? You're now a certified health and fitness coach. That's not an easy
Mhm.
feat. So how like why did you think about that shift, and why did you want to get in that field?
But there's the shift is not so big because basketball is a sport and it's fitness, right? And then
Yes,
now that switch wasn't that much, but what pushed me into wanting to like get to understand the bottom line, how the body works, what is fitness really. Most of us in the league just play, we don't know what fitness is. Nasemanga, oh, you come for practice, you've trained 5 times a week and you're saying I'm fit. You're not. There's so many elements that you should consider before you say you're fit. So for
yes,
me, The wake-up call really happened when we were in Morocco, when I was in Eagle Wings. And I never really used to play much. But when I got a chance to play, I used to ask myself, when I was watching my teammates play against the big dogs of basketball in Africa, the Senegal, the Angolas, and I would see there's a difference in terms of even the physical rating of our opponents. By physical rating, I mean the appearance of their physique. So I would
Yes.
ask myself, what do they really do to make them look like this? Now, me getting to play and even feeling like their strength, their stamina that they have, I got us, I got a sub. Rosa Uma got an injury, and the late coach Smarts was like, "Oh, Della, come in, go play." So I was given a sub. I almost wet my pants because I was so scared. It was my first time playing an international tournament because I was kind of a rookie, never used to play much. But now this was my first time getting to play against the big teams. And when I went in as a one defensively. So as I guarded my man, I was defending, can't forget that, Italy Lucas. So she was coming down, caught with the ball, and one of her teammates set a screen on me. I knocked myself on that player. I think my head shook. I think my brain shook. That that was a bad screen. Ah, so that event really had me thinking, what was it really? I could not ask anyone because no one could really explain to me what was happening. One, we are losing.
Yes.
And then two, these ladies are too physical. What is it really? So I had to do my research, went to the internet, thank God for Google. And what makes a
Yeah.
team
Yeah.
perform? I
Yeah.
didn't know what to even ask Google, but I went like, what makes a sports team perform? You know?
Yes.
And there I got my answers. I got my answers. So that screen is what pushed me to the shift. Now, when it comes to more of now understanding the health beat of it and the wellness, I lost my grandma to high cholesterol, and
Sorry to hear that.
that
Yeah. Sorry to hear that.
gave me a wake up call of, okay, what is this? When I'm asking my parents, they say, okay, when you have a very high fat level, then you're prone to having so many lifestyle diseases. So when I was trying to put two and two together, fitness and then health and wellness, I decided maybe I should just, I felt it. I felt it in my bones that I should pursue a career in health and fitness. And then coming into
Wow.
2014, 2015, I had one of my very close friends was also in fitness. So I got to at least get some advice and know where to start. And boom, 15, 16, 17, 2018, and I got my certificate in 2018. That's when I went for my certification, got my certificate, and I still feel like it is not enough. I still need to learn some more. The beauty of learning is it never ends.
Learning does not stop. Learning does not stop. But
Yes, yes.
it's something else to look up the information.
Uh-huh.
I'm very cognizant of the fact of like fitness and wellness. It's one thing to look up the information, but it's another thing to really dive into it. And I want to become like someone who understands that topic.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of the sportsmen we know what push-ups are. We know we have that basic. Most sportsmen and women do understand the basics, but you diving into it, that's another level. You diving into it, wanting to understand the best practices, understand what this really is a very different field. Then coming from Kenya, that's a different because it's never been a career. Now things are changing a lot, but
Yeah.
in the past, it never used to be a career like fitness and
Mm-hmm.
wellness coach.
Mm-hmm.
How has that transition been for you? Now you understand basketball. Here you are a fitness coach. How is that? How does that work? And have you seen the advantages of it? When you play or when you interact with different people?
Okay, well, sometimes I tell myself if maybe I got into this field way earlier, been able to share what I've learned with my teammates, because I've had a chance for at least 3 teams in the Kenyan Premier League. And if I ventured into this earlier, like that was 2013 when I was knocking myself on that crazy screen, I would have been able to also educate my teammates of this is what these guys are doing.
Yes.
And for me, I think it's a blessing in disguise, because once I got to understand the anatomy, how the human body works, and how a sports person should do certain things to be able to perform at the peak level, you really can never get everything. But the few things that I got to learn and understand, and being an athlete, I'd say even contributed to my performance in the last league matches that we played. So I try as much to share what I have learned with some of my teammates. But again, you can only tell people so much. Those who want to understand what you're telling them, those who want to take it up, right? So I
Yes.
try as much as I can to share that information. But I still feel like if every athlete or every sports person can take it, can make it an initiative, make it intentional to want to understand how can you play better as a person. And now once you've understand what you can improve on, then you can be able now to help the team as a whole. It starts with an individual.
So, but let's look at our team. Let's look at our league in Kenya, right? Let's look at most teams outside in every part of being in the country. They always have a trainer. There's the coach and there's a
Mhm.
trainer. But let's look at team dimensions in Kenya. We don't even have a trainer, and maybe coach doesn't make it to practice. What do you think are some of the things we can do as as a country, as teams back in Kenya? I understand all our constrictions, lack of funds. I understand all that. I understand that. But what do you think we should do for us to be able to compete? Like, for example, we go out and we play 4 games in 5 nights, and it's very hard for us because
Mhm.
we're not built that way. What do you think are
Yeah.
some of the things we can do in the short term? Like, this a team, what do you think they can do to get better or to get stronger or to get that position of trainers on the team?
Mhm. Okay. Uh, Kenya wise, I think we still have a long way to go when it comes to conditioning ourselves to playing international matches. I say that because I have been blessed enough to be able to be part of the Lionesses team, and I was part of the preparation. And even the teams I have played for, we need to prepare, give ourselves more time to prepare, but not just preparing. Teams should go out of their way and hire strength and conditioning coaches,
No
especially
doubt.
on the national team level. There is no two ways about it. Hire a strength and conditioning coach. I realized that there are so many strength and conditioning coaches around once I got into the field. And I was thinking to myself, how come services of such people have never been accorded to the national team or even the local clubs? So a strength and conditioning coach is a must, because that is the only person who can be able to see, to analyze each and every single player and see where they need to improve, advise the whole team on how their performances should be, break down the whole pyramid of preparation in terms of recovery, nutrition, because again, we just work out. There's the recovery bit. They go hand in hand. You cannot train for 5 days, train in the morning, train in the evening, Monday to Friday, then play on a Saturday. That's crazy. Uh-huh. That's crazy. So let us hire strength and condition.
No,
I
I
know
hear
I
you.
played
But
last year.
so, what do you say
I,
about the next years? You need to,
huh? Huh?
sorry, I
You
couldn't hear
know,
you.
you've had the exposure, so you know that the things that are
No,
being
but
done here is crazy.
yes, but for example, let me give you an example, or the mindset of a player who's playing a league in Kenya, and,
Mm-hmm.
and and how can we address this? For example, they have a game, they practice 3 days a week. It's only 2 hours a day, and there's 15 people. There's 15 to 20 people in practice. They have three
Mm-hmm.
basketballs. They practice from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock because night comes in. It's 3 sessions a night. Thursday, Friday, the team doesn't practice. Friday night, the guy, Nairobi West, at Yalala, Saturday at Laranyayo, and then they have a game at 4 p.m. So how do we help someone who has that mentality?
That takes me back to my point. It is every single player's responsibility.
Yes.
To want to know, Mimi, come on, and Rose, what do I do? What do I need to do to help myself? First thing, we have this tendency of you're looking up to LeBron James. Do you know what kind of workouts LeBron James does? Do you know the things he does behind the scenes? You want greatness? Do you know what it takes to work towards being great? Yeah, you cannot get to that level, but it is those little things that count. I said, make sure that you have to recover. You cannot just work out and not recover. And you want to perform at your level best. You have to eat well. Your nutrition matters for you to be able to perform. Tukienda huko nje, we are thinking, what are these guys doing? The strength training has to be there. Local leagues do not specialize in strength training. At least now, recently, people are trying to lift weights here and there, because that's the only way you build your stamina. At least now awareness is growing. That's why as I do this, I tell myself, whatever I'm learning, I'll have to. The only way I'm going to give back through the game of basketball is by talking to whoever I can talk to and tell them, we need to start preparing differently if you want to be at the peak of your performance. It doesn't matter in what, but there are things that go hand in hand. Your strength training, your recovery, your nutrition, your endurance training, everything. It is everything put together for you to be able to perform at the top of any level in the league or outside there, because that is what they're beating us with. The fact that we don't have very good development programs, but again, strength can be built, speed can be built. You might have been born with some genetical advantages, but even if you were born with some genetics that allows you to have very, very good verticals, someone else who works every day on their verts can be able to beat you, right? Because you're just sitting here, you were born with some gifts, but if you sit on it, that you're as good as not having any gifts. So it is a responsibility. I am calling out on the players. It is your responsibility before you say, oh, the technical team hasn't done this. What have you done for yourself? What do you do? What do you do when you're not on the court? What do you do after the court? Do you stretch? After, when you go home, do you eat? I'm on Asema, the practice was late, so by the time I'm getting home, it's 10. I can't eat, so I'll just sleep, wake up in the morning, eat the other west, blah, blah, blah. Those are just excuses that we have. But it's just awareness, I'm thinking. It's awareness. Once we're able to build the awareness, I'm thinking we'll be good to go.
Yeah, but we as we talk, like we cannot stress enough about we have to enjoy the successes also that we have enjoyed. Let's go back to your playing days at Eagle Wings. You guys go and you finish, you finish at a bronze medal, and it's a self-sponsors team. And I think I remember you guys practicing for that. Let's walk through that. Like, what do you think you guys did at that time that other teams over the years we have not able to copy paste what you guys were doing to able to get the same success of what you guys were able to achieve?
That's a hard question. But
I can take it back, like we can take it in stages. So Eagle Wings goes and you become one of the only self-sponsored team I think ever to win a podium finish, a bronze medal at the club level, African club level competition. What do you think you guys did well that over the we have not been able to duplicate what you guys were able to do?
Sometimes I say it's heart over fear, because as Eagle Wings, we were going through so much. Tulikuwa in-house zetu, we didn't have like self-conflicts among its players, but we went through so much. Being a self-sponsored team, I know everyone understands what that means when you're in Kenya. We went through so much, and
yes.
Is it passion for what you do or love for what you do? Because again, when passion drives you, you basically you have no fear for anything.
Yes.
We were so passion driven. We worked so hard. I'd say that was of all the moments that hard work really came through for us, was that particular moment as Eagle Wings, because we worked so hard, we were so passionate about the game. And maybe now it's more of business than people wanting to play, because back then hatukulipwa anything, there was nothing, no sponsors, no, we were even contributing for, like, people had to go into their pockets and contribute for some of us to even fairs, to come to practice and go back home the next day. We didn't know anything about training. We didn't know anything about nutrition, nothing about recovery. We just had a great coach and a great team manager and a very supporting technical team. But as a team, we had so much love for each other, so much love for each other and so much love for the game that we overlooked everything that we were going through. And even traveling to Morocco was by God's grace. But the fact that we went there and was at a bronze, we finished at the medal bracket. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, because it's clearly I have never really understood, but I just say it was passion at work and just God's favor.
Yeah, Coach Zico, he said I don't think it's passion but purpose. I think you guys had more purpose. You had purpose over passion. That's what he's saying. Coach Zico is saying he had purpose over passion. Like you guys had purpose. You know, you had a goal and you wanted to achieve that goal.
Well, you can. For me, that trip was it. You can give it anything. For me, it was a
Yes.
blessing in disguise. It was a blessing because we knew nothing. As a fitness coach, I can tell you for free, I knew nothing. Fitness, whatever, everything that one needs to prepare to be able to perform at that particular level. So I sometimes I think, what if we knew all those things and we had sponsors and we had everything that any other team there had, then
Yes.
we will be talking. Eagle Wings got gold, right? Eagle Wings finished first in the national tournament, right?
Yes.
So maybe, yeah, it was just God's favor. It was all God's favor.
Man, you know, the man above never disappoints. If you trust the man above and you put in the
So
work,
hard, so a very prayerful team from the management to the so.
Yeah, but for you, so you know, everybody gets into a game for different parts, different avenues bring you to the game.
Yeah.
How did you get into basketball? Like, how did you know you were good in basketball, or how do you end up playing basketball? There are so many sports in Kenya, netball, all except track and field is big, volleyball. So how do you end up in basketball?
Oh, so I come from a family that is very sporty. My mom used to play netball, and my dad is a former boxer. So having that, so genetically, I'd say I'm an active kid. I was an active kid. So I played netball at some point because of my mom, the introduction to the game and all that. But then when I got to high school, then we had there were not so many basketball courts back then. It was more of netball being played. Any game that looked like basketball was just netball. So I played netball a bit, but when I got to high school, it was love at first sight. And your time, it was Michael Jordan's time. So yeah, a lot of Michael Jordan on TV. Now I'll tell my mom, I think I want to play this game. It looks, you're gonna swag. And she's like, you don't like it?
Yeah.
No, I'm like, no. And she told me then, wait, once you get to high school, then you'll be able to play. And lucky enough, when I got to high school, the first thing that I saw when I got to the front office was a basketball court. The basketball court was right there. And I remember she told me, there goes the game that you wanted to play. And I said, yes. So since then, I never looked back. I played that first year when I got to school in Form 1. By the second year in Form 2, I was already in the top 12 of the team.
Wow.
So Yeah,
Yeah.
being active, I go to play so many sports, but when you feel like this is it. This is when you play this. When I play basketball, I would just feel like this is the game I want to play. I'd go play football, I go for drama, I go play handball. But when I came to ball, that was it. That is where I wanted to stay. That is where I wanted to be, and I could not trade it for anything. I didn't know there's basketball after school though. So when I
Yeah.
got to finish my high school, yeah, we got to the national levels, but we were being beaten by Mombasa High every time. And again, I would ask myself, why, why? Maybe I'm just a bad loser. But again,
Yeah.
yes, I would ask myself,
Yeah.
why are we losing to this team? Why are they always winning? Why is this girl so big? Why is this? Why is this? And I was supposed to play in high school, and I was
You're
marking
a post
Salma.
player.
So you can
You play post? Or does that mean when you are the
uh-huh.
tallest on your team?
No, I was just a bit, my frame was a bit bigger, and okay, I was slimmer, so I looked like I was tall. But in high school, can you move there, play whatever position? There was not really that responsibility or assignment. As long as you can score
Yeah.
when you're Tero.
Kabisa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But so you know, for me, I didn't start playing. I couldn't get on the team until I was a junior in high school. Wakina Maish, Wakina Stanley Ndishu,
Uh-huh.
Wecho, Wakina Pondo. They hold the minutes, man. These guys were good. I couldn't get on the team until my junior year. And even on my junior year, I was part of the team that practiced, not really played, but
Ole.
for you, yeah, it's tough when you come from Missouri boys, it's tough. But
Okay.
so for you, like, so when you finish high school, is there something that made you think, let me pursue basketball? For me, what changed my perspective of basketball was when I was in Missouri boys and I would see Peter Otieno Kalulu being picked by a van to go to Mombasa for basketball. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to Mombasa to play basketball? Like, yeah, he plays for a club and the club pays for his ticket to go and all that. I was like, how is that even possible? Like, he's a high school kid, but so to me, that was like a wow moment for me. For you, what made you think like basketball can be it for you on the next level when you finish high school?
So my high school coaches were Kim. Kim coaches. Kim plays for. Okay, what team does he play for? He coaches a university team. My coach, he coaches a university team, and then
Okay,
he plays with Amos. The team Amos is in. So he was friends with Kent Juma. So
okay,
Kent Juma saw me playing in high school. So when I finished, Kent Juma was a part of Eagle Wings. So he called me when I finished school, and he was like, "Do you want to play? Come and play during the holidays." Okay, no. After I finished my Form 4, then he reached out to me and asked, "Do you want to play? You can come to Railways. There's a team that says." So I guess he told them, or he told Coach Smart, may he rest in peace, that, oh, I have some girl from high school who's playing well. I guess I was playing well in high school. So I got called to Eagle Wings.
yes.
And I'm there, huh? Otero, huh? I am there, I am seeing all girls, Majang, Eunice, Mildred,
Right.
Nico. Is this where you called me? These are not high school players. Or he told me, yeah, this is a club team, so you'll be playing here. But lucky enough, I got to watch the championships that were at Nyayo in 2009, the Women Club Championship, the women's at
Yes,
Nyayo.
yes, yes.
I bumped on an advert on TV, and it said there will be games at Nyayo. And so nikaomba madangu fair. Then I got to Nyayo, sat at the far corner, and Eagle Wings was playing Mozambique. So I'm there, I don't know anyone. I'm in awe seeing those international players. Some Mozambique
Yes.
girl just went from there with the left. touched the board, the whole stadium stood up. Nico, is this where I want to play? And I said I'm having conversations in my head. And Najambia, yes, I want to be part of this. I want to be part of this. I don't know how, but I want to be part of this. So I got to watch those games, and I think really opened my eyes up and gave me a glimpse of whether I want to ball or I want to do other things. So after that is when I got to I started training with Eagle Wings. But I feel that I did not give myself enough time to develop my game before I came to play for a top league. Eagle Wings was a top dog, because once I joined them, that was the first time they became number 3 in the league. And then after that, it won, one, 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 one. So I feel like I denied myself time to even develop my game. And maybe that's the other thing that we are lacking as Kenyans in terms of basketball. But it's a good thing that we have in several programs coming up for the high school kids to be able to be in before they get to come to the top league. But again, it was a blessing in disguise. I was there,
Yes.
but I was benched for 3 years. But I still stayed. I
Stay
stayed.
passionate. You're a true soldier.
I stayed. And I never questioned it. I don't know why. These days, into me will come thinking, but Ndala, so you stayed on the bench for 3 years? And I say, yes. And again, passion, purpose, call it, give it whatever
Yes.
name you're going to give it.
Yeah.
But it was an honor having to meet the legends of the game when it came to women's basketball. And it also shaped me to a certain level. One of the things I attribute playing for Eagle Wings immediately after high school is the toughness that it gave me. It made me so tough. Like anytime you're stepping up on stage, you have to give it your best, because the opponent is not looking at you. Oh, you're 5'4". Oh, you're slimmer than me. Oh, you're what? No, you step onto the stage, you have to play your heart out. So yeah, that was it, and here we are.
Yeah, I know that those are great. And I know you mentioned playing with some great players. Samba, your
Mhm.
teammate here, says 2013 was a good year. We had players who understood their roles and a coach who had a vision, and a
Yeah.
TM and management who understood their purpose in the team and also had a goal and vision for the team. Structure. Structure is a big thing. Structure is a big thing. And as you mentioned, so I'll tell you a story. I know you mentioned about you watching those the Africa basketball tournament in Kenya in
Mhm.
2009. So for me, I was a part of a team in '97. I go and I play on this team, Kenya national team, but I'm still young though. But I'm sitting there and I'm watching these games and I'm going like, why are those players like? There was one player. His name is Etienne Prater. He was 6'9" from Senegal, and he was playing
Mhm.
the 2. And I'm looking, going like, why am I 6'6" playing the 5? You know what I mean? Like that was a moment. Like that was a moment that really shaped what I started doing after that. I was like, that's not possible. If he's 6'9", and then I see players like Jean Jacques from Angola, I knew there was big men. I knew because I played with like a few big men in Kenya, the big Sams. But when I saw these were like big. I mean, not only tall, but they were big, also huge
Yeah.
guys. Yeah, so that opened my eyes to a difference, and I started realizing. I started looking at the Lavio Deras and the Ronio Winos, who are way
Mhm.
ahead of everybody else in terms of developing as a player, like doing weights. Larry and Ronnie were doing weights back in the 90s. Larry was a 3-man, maybe 230, 110 kilos. So that was my moment. That was my moment that shaped the way I approached the game. So
Mhm.
you see these games, you play with Eagle Wings. Does it change how you play? Like, what are you telling yourself? Like, this is what I need to do, or what did you realize that you needed to do to even just to play for Eagle Wings? You're saying you've been on the bench 2 years.
Mhm. I always felt like there's a gap, because my understanding of the game from high school is Niende. But now I'm in a team. Oh, there's a play. You have to come from this end to the other end, do this. it was confusing, but nilikuwa na njaa ya kutaka kujua what is this?
Yes.
Why is this?
Yes.
Why is it different? It's still one ball, two rims, but why is it different? Why are these players moving like this? So my drive to want to learn is what made me be on the bench and still be comfortable, because I was in the bench, but the team is performing so well, as I also try to develop my understanding of the game. But I knew I would tell myself every day, I want to play like them. I want to play with them. I want them to see me and say, oh, she can play. Because sometimes when you come from school, I'm from whichever team, and then you join these big teams, there's some level of ile unaangaliwa zile za can she play?
Bado atoshi.
Mtu anapasia boli hivi anarudisha hivi, alafu anafanya there are those things, you understand. So
yeah.
I was, every day I would look forward in those 3 years. Sometimes I would run away, but my teammates would care enough to call me back. I think that was also another good thing that made me stay in the game. Because anytime I hear they have for an international assignment, I was running away, not coming for practice, because I knew nitakatwa.
Okay.
It was 2 of it. Yeah. But still staying on the bench, I did not lock myself out and feel like, oh, I can't be part of this, because I was working hard. I was still training, showing up for training. Coach Smart's never really made me feel like, oh, you're not part of this. My teammates never made me feel like I'm not part of this. There, as I said earlier, staying there sharpened me, toughened me up, and I could not wait to be on that stage and be able to contribute something to the team. Every day I look forward to that.
You brought a great point. You mentioned a great point, and I think in a conversation this gets lost. You know, so we have so many great players. Like when you watch Kenya Secondary School Association basketball, is great. You watch and you see all these great players, but then 2 years down, you're looking for those players. You can't see them. You don't even know what happened to them. They're not playing anywhere. They're not in colleges. They're not playing anywhere. Or you find they're in college. They're not playing basketball at all. What do you think? What do you think? For me, it was going to a small team. I played for Kimbo. So Kimbo, they didn't have a big man. I fouled out. They'll be like, hey, we don't know what to do. You have to play. I didn't know the game, but they kept me in the game. But those players you end up not seeing those players at all. And as you say, you also struggled. You played well in high school, but now you're coming to Eagle Wings though. What do you think are some of the things we can do to help players like transition into the league or into college and still be effective? Because not everybody can transition from high school and go play for Kopbach or not play for Eagle Wings or go play for KPA. There has to be that gradual process for players to get better.
For that is, I think they should just, as I said, the development programs can really, really be of help, because we have the Division 1 for the NBA for the ladies. Yeah. It's Division 1, yes. And maybe the scouting as well. This thing of a top team going and scouting a 16 or 17-year-old player, where are you going to take this player? A top team that scouts a 16-year-old player who's maybe still in school or just finished school. Yet, we know it in Kenya. A top team is not about teaching you or helping you. By the time you're playing in a top team, how about you just go to a lower division team, build your game, stay in it, then grow and come to the teams. So I feel like the scouting is it? I'm confused when it comes to that, because I faced it. I faced it myself. It's just that I was maybe too passionate, or it just God planned it that way. But if it was someone else, they would have left. I had players who left Eagle Wings, and they're not there. So if I had not stayed in Eagle Wings, no one would know Annerose Mandela exists now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and the players that I played with in high school who were so good, they're nowhere. See, none of them. I don't even know where they went to. Yet I was not even that good when I still had players who were somehow better than me, but they never got a chance to get to play at the top level. So I don't know what can, maybe you can also share with me what do you think needs to be done so that we can bridge that gap and people get to develop their game. As it should be a gradual process. It shouldn't happen.
Yeah, as I mentioned to you, my advantage was going to Kimball, which was a small team coming out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Kimball, just a small team. They didn't have a lot of big men. So I went in as a big man. I'm not a 6'6", I know, right? I laugh about when I say that these days. I laugh about me saying I'm a 6'6", I was a big man. But my advantage was I went to, for you to become better, you have to have reps. You have to play to get better. And that's a lot of
Yeah.
players don't understand that. You have to play to get better. You have to. You have to get reps at anything you do to get better. So when I went to Kimball, they didn't have any other big men. We only like two of us. You know, we are all terrible. We're not that good. We are all terrible. Both of us were bad. So they didn't have a choice. It was you play, you play. You get tired, you play. You get tired. So we ended up playing a lot of the minutes that whole year. So that really helped me
Mm-hmm.
develop and understand. And obviously, the guys were helping me. You know, you don't need to foul all the time. You know, get the rebound, put the ball up, pass it to me, run down. You know, I think that was the great thing about me going to Kimball, and then eventually, gradually, I also played for different, you know, gradually into KPA. But I think
Mm-hmm.
that was my advantage that other people don't have. So you leave high
Yeah.
school, you come to COP, and COP or man P playing the five, and
Imagine.
you're a 5 man. You know,
Utacheza
chance
lini?
of you playing, eh?
Utacheza lini?
Utacheza lini? Man P akosi
Yeah.
mazoe. Man P comes to practice. He does not miss practice. He does not miss games. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
hard. It's hard. However you cut it, it's hard. But
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yep.
you have to be able, as a player, as you're saying, a lot of this goes back to the player. A player has to have a vision and know what they want to achieve and have
Yep.
goals. That's what I'm saying. As you say, you mentioned a great point. I've always said this. It does not matter. Kelele ya nje, the rest of the noise. Oh,
Yep.
basketball does not pay. Oh, this and that. That has nothing to do with your development.
Yep.
I say this all the time. That has nothing to
Yeah.
be. You don't motivation for you to develop. If it's something from outside, you're bound to fail. If that's what your motivation is to develop, but if it's an
Yep.
inner drive for you to develop, then you are, you know, you definitely you're going to develop, and the game takes care of itself the rest of the way. I have to read this. Chanel, great fan of yours, he's on here. Scouting somehow only happens in the semis of the national somehow. At least these days, there's an emergency of development programs, so it gives kids a platform to be seen. I agree. I agree. I agree. You know, um, as we move forward, I think players also have to be cognizant of some things. So we can't take everything and put it on. We have to take responsibility as players to
Yeah.
be like, I have to get better.
Has to be on purpose.
Yeah, I know you win multiple. Like you've won multiple accolades. You know, Zone 5. You know, Zone 5 with Eagle wins at the Africa tournament, MVP of the Premier League. You've won the championship in the league. What's next for you? Like, what's next? Like, what do you think? Like, you're thinking now, looking ahead. You're like, what do I need to do next? Like, what do you think you can add to all these accolades you have in African basketball and Kenyan basketball?
Um, Basketball wise, I'd say I'll just ball until the wheels fall off. And currently the
Hey,
team I'm
that's
in,
the way to go right
I
there.
just
That's the way to go.
the team I'm in, I just hope should be one of the best teams I've had to play for. And I just hope I can play for them for as long as I can and give my services to them for as long as I can. Uh, and but career wise, I hope to pursue sports science. I need to get to the bottom of this. I need to understand this so that I can share it out with the upcoming generation. and even to just build a sports performance center. I have a big dream. I just hope it will come to pass one day. And it all goes back to sports and performance in the human body. That's how much I love sports.
You can say that again. I pray for you to get to that goal because I tell people
Thank
all
you.
the time, like, you're welcome. I tell people this. There was nothing special about me when I was playing basketball in Kenya. There was nothing special about me. Anybody
Mm-hmm.
can go the path I went. Um, I was lucky. I was lucky, but I was well prepared for the opportunity. I put in the work.
Mm-hmm.
I put in the
Mm-hmm.
work. So, but I tell people there was nothing special about me when I was growing up. There was nothing special about me. There was nothing. So anybody can do anybody if you put your mind to it and have a drive of purpose. To Coach Zigo keeps telling me it's purpose, no passion. So if you put your mind to it, like, and you really focus on what you want to achieve and have small
Mm-hmm.
goals and map out your own success. When you map out your own success, I can't measure success with someone else. Like, for
Yeah.
me, just going to university, graduating, and all that because of basketball, that was a huge success for me. For someone else, that's maybe someone in their family, maybe they have 20 people who have graduated. So it's not a big deal. For me, it was a big
Exactly.
deal. So for you now, looking on your career and everything you've been able to do, how do you view your success, and how do you view where you are now in your as you're moving forward?
Ugh, success. Yeah. How do you measure success anyway? Okay. Getting at the
For
MVP
you?
was
Yeah,
success for me. A
yeah.
100%. 100%. Because then it just proved to me that consistency and staying disciplined, because I lacked motivation on certain days. I really lacked motivation. But it's the consistency and just staying disciplined. So for me, the MVP was the claim the dream. I don't think I'd want any other thing from basketball. It would just be about me giving back, just using my knowledge, go to the hood, share my knowledge with a couple of kids there, put up, put get some money, put up a hoop maybe around my hood. That would be it for me. I I've gotten what I wanted with basketball. If it wasn't for basketball, like again, I would not be in the fitness career. I wouldn't have that career change. I attribute everything to the game. So it's time for me to just give back, give back, give back, give back. And I
Right.
don't think I have limits. I don't have a limit. I'll keep going. I'll keep going and going and going and going.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's all. I think at the end of the day, that's all it's all about. Everyone to whom more is given, more is expected. Again, it doesn't matter how much you give. It's never how much you give. It's what you give compared to what you have. I tell people, as you said, even if it's just a basketball in your hood and you take one basketball and give a child, or you take your time to go introduce basketball to little kids and in your neighborhood, that's a big step. It doesn't have to be this, all of a sudden you want to, solve all the million problems in the world. You have to start somewhere. And as you're saying, that's a great step in that, how you start that. Um, and again, like, there's some things you've done and we have to talk about this before we get off. There's some things you've done that I have watched, like, for example, your Zoom online Zoom classes, with the Kenya women's
Mm-hmm.
community. That's awesome. How did even that come around for you to be able to do that? And what was the purpose for those Zoom classes that you do?
Or that was one of the Women's Commission's chairs reached out to me and told me, how about you be doing something on the group to just keep players active, and just also the players to know that in case they want things that they can do from home workouts, they can have evidence and they can know that they can reach out to you. And I said, why not? It was it was
Yeah.
pure heart. I said, yeah, and I said, okay, sure, we can be doing it, but now I had to stop because I had other commitments, but it was just to create awareness and for the ballers to know that they can still stay active at home. Again, it is a purpose. It should be a purposeful responsibility. Yeah, the lockdown, but if you said we have different relationships with the game, if you have a goal, then you will not wait for anyone to tell you how to go about that goal. You will push yourself,
No.
you will get yourself up and work out. So that was just a little something that I chose to be a part of. It was a privilege.
Yeah. Your coach is here. Kim, shout out to Coach Kim. He's here.
Yay,
He's here, my
coach!
MVP.
That was my he introduced me to the game. Thank you,
Yeah,
coach.
yeah, great guy, great guy. I've had the opportunity to work with him a couple of times when I do the Hope Tour. We had an opportunity to do a great basketball camp with him in Thika. Man, shout out to
Mhm.
Chege, man, out there, man, and Coach Kim, and also at NIS when he did the top 50. So he's one of the coaches. I know his heart is in the right place.
Oh
His heart is in the
yes.
right place. When we talk about basketball care development, there are some people I know whose hearts are in the right place. So, but we have to acknowledge though, like despite
Yep.
everything that we despite everything that we are talking about and all the negativity maybe you'll see on Facebook about Kenya basketball, we have to acknowledge though that we are on the right track with all the development of academies
Yes.
coming up, of all the great job these guys are doing. I think we,
Mhm.
we, we cannot always talk about the negative. We have to be able to uplift these guys and talk about these guys. What have you seen in those academies lately that you think like the future is good for our basketball players in Kenya?
Uh, I'll just send a big shout out to Feba because I have been somehow a part of Feba. I was one of the coaches for the under 16s, and Zedi, Mose, Shem, and everyone involved. You guys are doing an incredible job. An incredible job. May God just give you guys strength to keep pushing. Now, I have seen young girls who are at the age of 5, 6. Now they're big girls who are playing so well. So the future is bright. The development is good. And yes, we have people who have their hearts in the game. Again, we have Soweto. I was a part of the task camp. I was part of the coaches. And Coach Sly brought in some very, 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 very talented girls. Again, a big shout out to them and everyone else who's just working around the clock to do something in the hood. It's more than just the game because they are doing so much. It's more than just the game. Getting the players to be there, the girls, the boys to be there and teach them the game and every other life skill that you guys teach them. I just say God bless you guys. And we need more people. Guys, former players, wale wako na time. Go out there. I know there's COVID, but there's so much that you can do. There is so much that we can do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think it's always on us. I tell people it's on us. It's not from someone else, from somewhere outside. So I remember the first time I came back to Kenya. This was like 2003, and Coach Harry, shout out to Coach Harry. Coach Harry had a basketball. I think the first malaria camp basketball, Jamalaria it was called. Jamalaria,
Mm-hmm.
and one of those participants was Georgia, and I think she was like 6 or 7 then.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a proof that these programs do work because Georgia,
Yep,
as,
they do.
as you can tell, she went on and became
Mm-hmm.
one of the best exports we have from Kenya. So, shout out to them for just doing that.
Oh,
We can talk all we want, but these programs do work.
yep, they do. They do. And those are the programs that will bridge the gap from having players transition from playing in high school. During the holidays, they get to also play. And then voila, we will have better national team players in future.
Yeah, yeah. Wesonga is on here. Wesonga, keep man peak. Good work. Annerose Mandela is a very talented player. Agina
Oh,
on
it's
here.
something. Hi, Mr. Gina.
Yeah. But for me, I think like watching you, even you play as we wind down, watching you play. I think it was just a matter of when are you going to get into your talent. Someone could tell you are very talented, but I think it took you a while, as you said, to figure out, the game and get in and get the confidence of playing. Because being talented and having the confidence to play, I think, are two different things. You can have, some people have the confidence of playing and they're not talented. But some people are talented, but they don't have the confidence. You don't know when to shoot. You don't know when to, and obviously. So, but for me, it was just a matter of time for you before you became, you grew up and into your shoes, your own shoes, and played and came out of your shot, the shot of other players on your team. So, kudos to you for keeping up and staying on that bench for 3 years. That's a tough one. I don't know how you did it, but
Wow, okay. I learned a lot, but
yeah.
we
So
have different
can
journeys,
you? No, different journeys, no doubt, different journeys. Some people are more patient than others. So, some people are more patient than others. So, who are those other players that you looked up to? When you're playing, who are those players you look up to? And on my team, I remember when I went to KPA, I always tell people you have to take this, you have to take some skills from different players, and you build your own bag of skill set. I know I played with Isaac Omole. I took his blocking ability with me. That's something I learned from him. Who are those players you looked up to and you have learned a lot from during your journey?
A big shout out to Rose Omanalo when I was in Eagle Wings.
Yeah.
And then she came to join us for international assignment. And I was blown off. I said, this right here, this is what I want to be able to, and even do it better, maybe. I know, maybe I haven't been able to play like her, but in my own element, So yeah, Rose Omanalo and Majang. Shout out to Majang, Caroline Juma. Those are the players I really, really looked up to when I was playing the game. And they were very supportive. They have really helped me. They helped me a lot until I met my new generations of players who Samba and then Silalei.
Yeah.
Kudos to those two.
Yeah. There, you talk about legends only. You talk about legends. There is nobody on there you mentioned who's not a legend in Kenyan basketball.
That was my problem. Coming from school and then joining the greats. There's no in between for me. It was guns blazing, guns blazing. There's no in between. So
it's straight out to the top.
That's why I sought out those three. It's good. That was good for me. So yeah, shout out everyone I've gotten to play with. I've learned something. I don't take it for granted. It's a team sport. This is not tennis. It's a team sport. Everyone I got to interact with, I appreciate them. My former team, my current teammates. Kudos to every one of you. It's an honor. I am blessed. Basketball for me has been pure blessings.
So for someone else, for that little kid, or for not just a little kid, or for someone else who has doubts, who is going through like the same thing on the bench, not playing and doubting, is this my path? What are some of the lessons you have learned that they can maybe take some lessons from you and get to their to their goals through that?
I'd say that once you have found your purpose and what you want to achieve with whatever you want to do, don't feed distractions. Stay focused. Stay focused. I don't like saying work hard because sometimes working hard doesn't cut it. Just stay focused, pray
Work hard and
harder,
work
and
smart, I guess.
stay focused. Just stay focused. That's it. Stay focused, stay disciplined, be coachable, because so you cannot grow alone. You'll have people who will be teaching you the good things, and then there are those who teach you the bad things. So just be coachable, stay focused, and believe in the cause that you've been put to do. Believe in the cause that you've been put to do, and eventually something will give. Something will give. Everyone has a different path, but stay on the course, and then something will give eventually.
Then say no more. I can't add on that. I can't add on that. I want to take this time just to tell you thank you for taking your time to visit with us and share your story. Uh, for me, it's been also, we've been on the same team, we've been on the same journeys for a while. Trip to Rwanda, I got to know you, I got to hang out and we got to talk, and I know I get to learn the new generation of players which are not left when I was leaving. So it's awesome for me to watch you grow, from playing into doing your fitness and instruction coach and wellness. And so it's inspiring for me. It's always inspiring to see people grow and keep growing and keep growing. And there's no ceiling. There's never a ceiling. You dream of it, you can achieve it. That's what I believe in.
Yep.
And so kudos
Yep.
to you, to everything you've been able to do, and to keep inspiring that young generation, and to keep helping our teams understand about physical fitness and what we need to do to be able to compete with the Angolas, with the Senegals, with the Mozambique and Cameroon teams like that, who, as you say, physically they're more well ahead of us, and that's not a lie. It's a fact. So I thank you for taking your time. I appreciate. I wish you well. Yeah, stay safe and be blessed.
You too, Monthly. Thank you for having me. Regards to your family. Cheers.
I'll do that. Yeah, cheers. You have a good day. Good day, man.
Okay. You too.
Bye. Well, there you had it today from the MVP 2019 MVP Rose Mandela. Yeah, she's gone. She over here. My wife says hi though. She's gone. Hey, there we have it from the 2019 MVP Rose Mandela. She's formerly known as Mandela. So, but her real name is Mandela. So, as she's saying, shared a lot of information with us today. So. You just have to stay disciplined on your pursuit for whatever goals you want to achieve in life. Stay disciplined. And until next week, this is my time. Stay safe, be blessed.